In this video, we're gonna weave a simple color block mug rug. So let's get started. This project would make a great last minute gift if you need one. I'm gonna stick with really neutral colors. I'm gonna use a beige, a brown, and a black. All the tools and materials will be linked in the description box below. I'm also gonna be using 8/8 cotton warp string for the warp. I love this one for mug rugs. It's nice and thick and gives you a really full fringe. For the warp, I'm starting off with an overhand knot, leaving a loop at the end. And I'm going to be double warping my loom. So I'm starting at the bottom, wrapping that loop around the first peg, and then I'm going up to the top, coming back down, and here's where I will start putting 2 strings between each notch. As I'm putting on my warp, I'm not pulling too tight, but I'm also not letting it be super loose. This is something that comes with practice. You'll eventually just get a feel for how tight your warp needs to be. I've put my warp on this entire loom so that I have a total of 32 warp strings. Then I'm going to cut off the tail and use the last string on my warp to tie a knot around that last peg on the bottom. Sometimes I like to tie a triple knot because I'm a little bit paranoid. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to cut off some of the excess, leaving about 1 inch of a tail on each side, just so that those strings are out of my way. Next, I'm grabbing some painter's tape to tape down my loom so that the loom doesn't shift around on me on the table. Now I'm grabbing this really narrow piece of cardstock. This is a little over 1 inch, and I'm going to weave that in with plain weave, going over one, under one, all the way across my loom. This just gives us something straight and firm to beat down onto so that our weft stays really straight. Now I'm gonna grab a nice long length of my first color of cotton yarn, and I'm gonna do probably 2 arms lengths to start with. And then I'm going to start on the right side, and I'm going to weave over one, under one, just so that it's the opposite of the cardstock, and then I will follow that with a twining stitch. And as a quick reminder for twining stitch, we're going to go under, down, and through at an angle everywhere that the weft is going over the warp. So it's not this first string, it's the second string. So pointing down like this, and I'm going to tighten this twining stitch as I weave so that it stays nice and secure, because this is what's going to hold the weft onto the warp once we take it off the loom as well. So I'm going to skip the next string, go to the one after that. What naturally happens when you weave, plain weave especially, is your warp is gonna wanna suck in at the sides as you go. So on this first row of twining, I'm actually gonna allow that to happen just a little bit on purpose to try to counteract that at the other end. Skipping one, going to the next one where the weft goes over the warp, and I'm gonna continue that twining stitch all the way across. Now that I have my twining stitch in, I'm going to do 3 rows of plain weave with the black. This plain weave is just going to add extra stability to each end of our mug rug. I've grabbed a length of the brown cotton string now, a couple arm lengths as well, and I have that on a second needle. We're gonna kind of need 2 needles for this because we're going to be weaving 1 row on one side and 1 on the other and linking them in the middle. So since I have a total of 32 warp strings, that's gonna be on the 16th string. Now that we're doing the main part of the mug rug, I'm going to be switching to going over 2, under 2. It's still plain weave, but we're just going over and under 2 warp strings at a time instead of only 1. This is gonna give us a nice, thick and sturdy mug rug. So I'm grabbing my black yarn. I ended going under this far warp string, so I'm gonna start going over. So over 2, under 2 for 16 total warp strings. I'm gonna bring this through the middle. Then I'm grabbing my brown yarn, and I'm gonna start on the other side. I'm gonna start on the over 2, under 2 for 16 as well, meeting in the middle. Then all we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap these around each other. So I have my brown sitting over here, and I have my black here. I'm gonna bring the black around. So instead of going back like this, and that would leave a gap in the center of our mug rug, we're just linking the yarns. This black yarn is looping around the brown. So now I can weave back this way, and then I can grab my brown yarn again and weave back the other way. So now you can see there will not be a gap in the mug rug, and the yarns are linked together. So I'm gonna keep doing that, grabbing my black first, weaving to the same spot, Then I'm grabbing my brown again, weaving to the center, and then once again, I'm going to loop the black around the brown. So you can see I'm kind of holding up the brown, and I'm gonna just bring the black around like that, and then weave back the other direction with the black again. And then grabbing the brown and weaving back the other direction. I'm gonna continue this exact same process till I'm about halfway up my loom. So I'm ending mine a little under 2.5 inches. This is an exact measurement. It's kind of whatever you want, but I'm gonna end it there just because I ran out of yarn on this side. So to end this off, I'm going to leave a nice long tail on each side. Since I ended coming under these warp strings, I'm gonna loop this around the warp strings so that it's a little bit neater on the edge, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And then I'm gonna leave those tails until the very end when I tuck them in. So now I'm going to be switching colors. This time I'm going to be using black on the right, and I'm going to bring in this beige and do that on the left. So I'm going to weave this next section the exact same way as I did on the bottom, but we're just switching up the colors. So I'm gonna start on the left side with this beige color, go to the middle, weave in from the right side with my black, and then I'm going to wrap my beige around the black. So just like on the bottom where I used the left string to wrap around the right string, I want to do that the same way on the other side so that this center line lines up really nicely all the way up. So now I'm just going to weave until I have the same length up here as I did down here. Now that I've woven my next section the same as the first, I'm going to take this string that ended on the under, wrap it around these last 2 warp strings for that cleaner edge, and then I'm going to go back the other direction with the black. And now we're going to be finishing this off the same way that we started. So I'm going to do 3 rows of plain weave going back to the over 1, under 1 plain weave, and then ending it off with a twining stitch. For this last twining stitch, I'm not just gonna turn around and do the twining stitch. I'm gonna cut this off, leaving a nice long tail, and I'm going to use the rest of my string to do the twining stitch. When you're working on a wider piece, if you just turn around and do the twining stitch, it's going to really wanna suck in one end, and we definitely don't want that. Now that the weaving is all done, we're gonna flip this over and tuck in all the ends. So I just cut off a little bit of the excess amount of yarn off of there. And we're going to take our looms off the table. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring all the ends from the front into the back so we can tuck them in. For tucking in the ends, I'm going to be using this little metal yarn needle. It's just a little slimmer than my wood one, a lot slimmer, so it's going to be easier to tuck in the ends. So I'm gonna start with the bottom one. So this is where we had some plain weave and the twining stitch. So it's a little bit tricky. So you're just going to grab 1 or 2 loops from the bottom. So I've got 1 little loop there. I'm gonna pull that through first. And then I'm going to take this through this channel of these back weft strings. So I don't wanna go all the way through to the front. I'm just grabbing the back. So if I flip this over, you'll notice you can't see the needle. So it's all hidden in there. I'm gonna pull that through and then trim off the excess, making sure I don't trim off any of the actual weaving. And then if you just kind of move those weft strings around, that end completely disappears. So for this one, I'm going to go in through this edge channel. And here I've grabbed 6 or 7 loops. You can go as far as you like, and you don't want to pull too hard. You can see there that I kind of pulled it up. So I'm going to kind of pull that back down a little bit, cut off my end, and then the end just disappears. So I'm going to do that on all the rest of these ends, just tucking them in, trimming them off. Now that I've tucked in all the ends, we're ready to get this off the loom. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull out the cardstock that we had woven in. Then I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to use the edge of my loom as a straight edge to cut on. So I'm just gonna cut this right off. So I'm gonna hold it down with my left hand and then I'm cutting with my right just along the edge of my loom. And get rid of these ends. And then before I take it off the loom, I'm gonna just cut it right off again. And this just keeps it a little bit straighter for us. So I'm going to pull this kind of taut, and I'm just gonna eyeball this. You can always use a piece of painter's tape to mark a line if you like, especially if you're using black string and you can't really mark it with a pen or marker. So I'm going to pull this taut, and I'm just gonna eyeball a straight line, and I can always straighten it out more later if I don't think it's quite right. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm grabbing a piece of just paper. I don't want to scratch up my table with my rope brush, so that's why I like to put down a piece of paper, set my mug rug on top of that, and then I'm going to brush out those little fringes at the end. I always just feel like this makes them look more like rug tassels or rug fringe. So I'm gonna comb those out nicely on both sides. So now that those are combed out, what I can do is grab my scissors again, and I can just kind of cut off any bit of the fuzz that's sticking out beyond the fringe. And on this side, I can tell this end ended up a little bit longer, so I am gonna give that a little trim so that it better matches up with the other side. All right, the mug rug is all done, so let's have a look at the finished piece. I love the way this little mug rug turned out, and if you enjoyed this mug rug video, check out these ones next.